Welcome back to Cybersea of Galilee DSMME on this beautiful Lenten day where we find another cross in our altar, side altar, we say in the church language, to the Queen of Heaven, to our Blessed Mother. And you can see for us in our Mother House Chapel, she is Our Lady of Guadalupe because we are Mary, Mother of the Eucharist. She is Mother of the Eucharist because in her womb, in the image, which is a reality, which we talked about on December 12th, go back and look that up. This doesn't make any sense to you. In her womb, she carried Christ himself. And since this isn't just an image, it's certainly not a painting, it's nothing that can be explained in this world, but it is a miraculous presence of Mary that happens to be visible in the shrine of Our Lady of Guadalupe in Mexico City. So, Mary, Mother of the Eucharist, and we have the cross. Why do we have the cross here? Because Mary never lived without knowledge that her son would die on the cross. She was a good Jewish woman. When she said yes, it wasn't just to become pregnant. It wasn't to whatever we might pie in the sky imagine all the beauty. It was to saying you will accept the cross in a way no other woman ever will. No matter how much she suffers for her son, she will not live with the constant knowledge that the son you carry in your womb, Mary, is the son who's going to fulfill all the prophecies of the suffering servant Jeremiah in the Old Testament, of Micah, of all the prophecies that the Messiah was going to come and that he would suffer and die, of the Jewish people who lived with the knowledge every single year, reenactment of that miracle with the Paschal Lamb, the Lamb who was sacrificed for the redemption of the people. And that lamb would be the son she would carry. No other woman has ever known the future of her son. And so I'm not saying many haven't suffered for their children, and I think every one of them has, because that's what mothers do. They love so deeply that they suffer more than their children suffer. And we all have suffering. And so our moms carry that weight with us. And that's what we as spiritual sisters and spiritual mothers do for the world. And we carry the weight very much with us in union with Mary. But Mary alone knew what this history of her son would be, what his life would be. And every day she loved him and she cared for him. And whenever he would bleed, she would remember this is part of redemption. And that someday it would be much more profuse as he would give every drop of his blood in some redemptive act for the salvation of all of us. So on this beautiful day, when we think about Mary, and we also remember that she always walked with fidelity in this cross, and so in so many ways we call her the co-redemptrix, because as much as Christ suffered, in many, many ways that's magnified and shown in a mystical manner in the heart of Mary, such that we call her Mother of Sorrows. And what those sorrows are, we can list the ones that we are aware of, but I'm always curious to know when I get to heaven, how many more sorrows, Mary, and swords pierced your heart that I have no idea. And yet, with that, how many joys did you live with constantly? And knowing that the incarnate Word of God, the second person of the Blessed Trinity, lived under your roof. And so I believe that is so much why we have devotion to Mary, Mother of the Eucharist, and on this Cybersea of Galilee DSMME, living in her heart with her son.